Do you all have that one friend or close relative that seems to navigate life as though it were a walk in the park? They ace exams, win scholarships, win promotions, land their dream dates, while you are still trying to get over the awkward feeling of elevator silence. You can't help but wonder if they have some sort of trick up their sleeve, some sort of magic formula that they'd be so kind as to share with you. And yeah, I get it. We all want to achieve great things. We all want to put ourselves out there and make something out of ourselves. But that's exactly why success does not come easy. Instead, we as humans are not born into this world with some basic procedure to success. No, if that were true, we would all be billionaires with Lamborghinis and mansions by now. We are all forced to face life's curveballs, whether we like it or not, no matter how strong, how pretty, how smart we are. That's just how life is. But the good news is that this applies to everyone, some more than others. And that also means that you are not struggling alone, and that there are people out there who can relate to you and who can help you. The problem is sometimes these obstacles and these curveballs seem a little bit too overwhelming, making success seem way far off, impossible even, when it's clearly not. In fact, the real reason why some people are so separated from success is because of themselves telling them that they will never amount to anything and that they will never get through these obstacles. But that's why I am here to tell you otherwise. Because what really matters is not how talented, how pretty, how smart you are, but rather how you view these curveballs and how you plan to get over them, which is not based on your skills, but rather your mentality. My name is Emily, and today I'll be talking about how mindset is the bane of success. But let's start with the basics first. What is mentality? A quick Google search will tell you that mentality is a characteristic attitude of mind or a way of thinking of a person or group. It determines how you view yourself and the world around you. So if you tend to think negatively, then you will be more prone to things like anxiety, overthinking, and stress. Think of it as a type of lens, a unique type of lens that helps you view situations in life in your own unique way. This picture serves as a perfect example of what mentality is. While one prisoner may only see the cold and lonely bars of a jail cell, another sees a beautiful masterpiece just waiting to happen. Same situation, different lens, different outcome. But how does this help with success exactly? Imagine you are in a video game simulation where the only way out is up. But of course, the path is stricken with barriers because it is a game after all. And nothing in the games are ever easy. And the only means of protection you really have is that large rock in front of you. So on you go. Every bruise, every ow, and every encounter is a chance for you to hone this rock into something more formidable, eventually turning it into a strong and more durable weapon of success, which in this case is a stronger and healthier mindset. And once you've finally achieved a durable weapon and a good enough weapon, then the obstacles remaining will seem a lot easier and take a lot less time to overcome. That's the beauty of mentality. It's not about going down and finding the easiest path when completely devoid of problems, because there isn't one. It's about embracing the long and winding path and accepting the inevitable problems and learning from them. That's actually where we derive our two types of mindsets, the growth and the fixed mindset. People with growth mindsets believe that their talents and abilities can be developed through persistence and hard work. That means that they are more likely to take the long and winding path without complaints because they believe that as another opportunity for them to learn and grow. People with fixed mindsets, on the other hand, believe that their talents and abilities are unchangeable and it is all they will ever amount to. They are more likely to look for the easier paths, the ones where they believe that their talents are sufficient enough to get them through. While being extra cautious is not necessarily bad, it heavily stunts growth and does not allow room for improvement. I'm sure you all have heard the story of the tortoise and the hare. But if you haven't, here is a quick summary. There once lived a hare, a very arrogant one at that, for he loved boasting about how fast he could run. One day, tired of the hare, the tortoise decided to challenge this hare to a race. A speed race of all things. Due to how big the situation was, all the animals in the forest came to watch. On the day of the race, the hare sped off and looked back. Seeing that the tortoise was nowhere near his distance, he quickly found a shady tree, lay down, and fell asleep. But the tortoise continued trudging along, paying no attention to the hare, and not stopping even once, until he finally reached the finish line, seconds away from it. All the animals started cheering really loudly, because how on earth could this slow and old tortoise get so close to the finish line? The hare woke up in a frenzy and ran as fast as he could to the finish line. But he was too late, for the tortoise had already crossed. This story serves as a perfect example of what it's like to have a growth and a fixed mindset. The hare, who had a fixed mindset, believed that his talents and abilities were enough to get him through, and he was blinded by his confidence and completely underestimated the tortoise. The tortoise, on the other hand, was not afraid of failure or his abilities, despite knowing that his chances of success were very low. Instead, he believed that persistence would eventually sculpt success and embraced the process and never gave up until the end. The moral of the story? Slow and steady wins the race. A big problem students suffer a lot these days is that they place too much importance onto winning and awards. Instead, it is better to embrace the process and everything that is to come. You don't always have to achieve good things. You don't always have to win in life to turn out successful. All it really takes is perseverance and determination, and the unwavering belief that persistence sculpts success. The tortoise didn't win because he was the smartest or the fastest or the best looking, but because he knew that effort would eventually lead to success and that hard work would pay off. But of course, this is not all without benefits. People with growth mindsets tend to be a lot more resilient to life's challenges because they do not view setbacks as necessary failures. Remember the rock situation I told you guys back then? One with a fixed mindset when faced with a massive hill, for example, would immediately crumble, believing this to be an impossible obstacle, a dead end, if you will. But one with a growth mindset would just view it as another challenging puzzle that just needed a little more effort. Like how plants that are not nurtured properly wither and die, if you feed too much into your negative inner critic and do not treat yourself well, then you will be more prone to things like anxiety, overthinking, and stress. But if you treat yourself well and learn to believe in yourself and your abilities, like how a plant that is nurtured well can bloom into beautiful flowers, positive opportunities will come to you. And finally, people with growth mindsets tend to be a lot happier no matter what, because they know that it's not about the results, but rather the effort and the progress you've made. A growth mindset shifts the focus from the final destination to the journey. It's like savoring a hike, no matter how challenging, instead of obsessing over reaching the end. You learn to appreciate the scenery, the learning moments, the feel of your muscles tensing and growing. And after the entire ordeal, you've experienced so much that it's impossible not to feel like a winner. But of course, don't just take my word for it. Science backs it up as well. Professionals believe that mindset shapes reality, and by adapting our mindset into a more positive one, we're going to be introduced to a number of benefits that eventually will lead us to success. So the next time you go, oh, I'll never get good grades, I'm way too dumb, or I'll never get into a university, it's way too difficult, think again, because if you believe in it, you can do it. Thank you so much for listening.